Hi guys. It's me, just an OSC enjoyer, just author 41. Today, I will be creating new BFDI characters for each team. Since there have been enough new teams in the series since the original author of this idea released the video and the original creator of this idea left OSC, I decided that why not continue his idea with new BFDI characters. I will give credits to the author of the original idea in the description. And no, I do not support this person, just so there are no unnecessary questions for me. And if you want to use my characters for your object show or anything else, feel free to take them. Just don't forget to credit me. Also, all my characters' assets will be linked in the description. Alright, let's begin. And the first team we have in line is PACT yet again. This team, like the other three in TPOT 12, was formed randomly. But since this team is based on preventing death and creating trust, it is understandable that the character for this team will somehow be related to deaths. If Hypercrystal had something related to life, then for me it would be the opposite. It will be something that brings a colossal amount of death. And decided to take Tornado as an object, which will be a character in this team. This character brought a lot of elemental and other troubles because of his nature. But he decided to fix it by joining the Death Pact yet again, hoping that they would accept him and his actions as they should. But he rarely managed to prevent deaths, which is why everyone in the team was disappointed with him and ignored or hated his presence in the team, despite all the efforts of Tornado to prevent deaths as best as possible. From the personality of Tornado, I can say that he is quite tired and doesn't want to change anything in his life after he was disappointed in his team and that he was tired of absolutely everything. Even from his look, I can say that he has seen a lot of bad things. And fun fact, even though this character is legless, he doesn't fly, but Tornado can increase in size when he is incredibly mad or furious. The next one is Team 2. I realize that this team is all about strength. It's not for nothing that Snowball still considers this team as the strongest team on Earth. But I thought about it and realized that there is clearly no one here who is responsible for at least a little bit of strategy and thinking through action plans for this team. And I didn't have to think long. I decided that the new member of Team 2 would be Targety. He joined this team because he thought that Team 2 clearly lacked strategists. The team didn't pay much attention to him, and basically, Targety tries not to stand out from his team. He is a rather quiet, calm, reasonable person who can at any moment become a very useful teammate for his team with his, sometimes, unexpected, but at the same time quite original plans and strategies. The team treats him normally, unlike the previous character. Although, at times, they are amazed by Targety's plans. And the third one is Bagged. This team has three types of members: Balls, Tech, Pen and Needle. But since Bagged has tacticians and doesn't really have anyone who is responsible for strength, plus the lack of anyone who represents nature, I decided that it would be Waterdrop. No, not this cousin of Teardrop, but my character. That's better. Because water is a good conductor of electricity. But you ask me now, what happened to the Waterdrop and why she's slightly frozen and cloudy? It's simple. During the events of TPOT 15, the timeline was really damaged, which is why she became like this and gained the ability to freely change its aggregate states from water to cloud, or from water to ice. And since there are still time anomalies left after TPOT 15, Waterdrop remains in this state. And thanks to her newfound abilities, she often helps out and helps her team in confusing and difficult situations. In Bagged, she gets along well with everyone and is friends with everyone. About her personality, I can say that she is quite an excited person and eager when she participates in challenges. Last but not least, CloudYAY. This team is quite chaotic, starting with the fact that there are 3 leaders, ending with the fact that everyone in this team gets in each other's way and chaos constantly occurs because of this. Therefore, I decided to make such a member of this team, so that he would be something like a guide for all members of the CloudYAY team, maintaining order and communication with everyone in the team. I decided that a member of this team would be walkie-talkie. He talks through speakers. Also, he is quite calm and thoughtful by nature. He doesn't like conflicts, therefore, he often looks for a solution to the problem in the chaos of his team. He often gives quite useful advice to everyone. At first, he was not trusted much, but when walkie-talkie's advice turned out to be really important and useful for absolutely everyone, everyone began to listen to him. Also, when he gained trust from his team, he often did everything to avoid conflicts in his team. Of course, he did not always succeed in doing this, but after walkie-talkie appeared, there were fewer conflicts and unrest in CloudYAY. And it would seem that this video should have ended there, but no. I decided to make a surprise for you, and as a surprise, I also made new characters for some teams in BFDIA. Let's run through all of them. And the first team in BFDIA is the Beautiful Devotion Face Institute. This team was formed in BFDIA 10, in the episode where the challenge was to sell as much ice cream as possible. Also, in this team, everyone adores Ice Cube's face, but the new member of the team will end up in this team due to pressure from others about Ice Cube's beautiful face, although he doesn't really like it and doesn't understand why everyone decided to join Ice Cube's team. Also, based on BFDIA 7, you can understand that Ice Cube likes salty taste. Therefore, I decided that the new member of this team will be salted caramel ice cream, or simply ice cream. As for his personality, he is an insecure person, quite cautious and tries not to do unnecessary things. The next team is Fries. This team should have someone who is similar to Fries in personality. And as a member of this team, there will be cold lemonade, since in BFDIA 17, Book was told that she would get lemonade in exchange for fries. And this scene made me think about why not use lemonade as the new member of this team. So, he is similar in personality to Fries, but he is even more indifferent to everything. Will cold lemonade get up for elimination? He doesn't care. Will he die? He doesn't give a crap. Some trouble? Also indifferent. And he very rarely worries about anything. Less often than Fries. Let's get to the penultimate team in this video, Nickel. Looking at the fact that Nickel was initially introduced in the debut not only as Nickel, but also as Dime, I decided that why not take her as a new member of this team. Also, there is such a character already and it is presented as one of the recommended characters of BFB and TPOT. I took inspiration from them. Also, I noticed that in BFDI there is an armless coin, Nickel, and a coin that has all the limbs, Coiny, but there is no coin that would have no legs and would have only arms. And here is the result. This character also doesn't fly, despite the fact that she is legless. And Dime moves the same way as Pin did when she had no limbs in BFDA. As for Dime's personality, I can say that she is quite serious and skeptical, unlike Nickel. She constantly tries to look after him so that he doesn't cause any problem. And the last team for today is FriesSmart. There were problems with her, since I could not find anyone to fit into the team, and I'm not even sure of my final result. But I realized that the members of this team show themselves in their indifference, like Fries, and uncertainty, like Needle. And, given all this, I decided that a member of this team would be indifferent to her uncertainty and accept herself as she is, considering her uncertainty not as a disadvantage, unlike Needle, but as an advantage, and that sometimes, uncertainty is, on the contrary, good. And I decided that it would be missing texture. As for her personality, she is calm and friendly. But she has some features. Firstly, due to the fact that she is in fact an uncertain object, she can behave unstable. For example, from time to time, her limbs can disappear, becoming transparent. because of which they cannot interact with the outside world in any way. Second, she can easily fly, but sometimes, her flight can also be unstable, and from time to time she can move to a random position, different from the original, which can sometimes cause problems. And thirdly, her behavior often changes and often has mood swings due to her uncertainty and instability, which also creates a lot of problems regarding her relationship with everything within her team. And that's all as for today. Of course, I could make more characters for the teams from BFDIA 14 to 15, but I don't even know if you or I need it. Moreover, I'm unlikely to do it anyway, given my laziness and the speed of video releases on my channel. And I hope you liked my characters and rate my video with a like and a comment about which character you liked the most and why. Also, subscribe to my channel if you want me to continue making videos on this channel. And that's all. Until next time.